going to talk about lead to call automation, which essentially is you get a lead through a contact form on your site, an SMS message that somebody may send to you, through a multi-step form on your website, perhaps a quiz or something like that. And turning that into an immediate call. This is something very few people talk about, but all the big boys are doing because it makes by far way more money than it does not having it. And there's special tools that you can use for this where you don't have to be a technical whiz to be able to do it, and have, as soon as a lead comes in, within 60 seconds, having a phone call out to the user every single time, enforced through technology, so your salespeople can't screw it up and have to always follow those leads up in within 60 seconds. If somebody calls within 60 seconds, you're always going to get in contact with the user, basically speaking, especially when you tell the user that they're going to get a call within 60 seconds, which is something that you should do as a part of this. If you spend a single dime on PPC ads right now, or online advertising for your business, and you don't do this or some form of this, because there's a few other different versions of this I'm going to talk about, they should also seriously consider, not later, but starting today, instilling or putting into place at least some or all of these methods, because it's always going to make you more money. And the bottom line is, the quicker that you respond to your leads and the better that you follow up your leads, meaning if you don't get in contact with them right away, you try again and you try until they basically tell you to F off, or you get in contact with them and they say they're not interested anymore, the more money you're going to make from that set amount of ad spend you've committed to spend to get customers at your business. You could call it annoying, you can call it whatever, but you can't call it not profitable. So with that said, so there's some lead flows here that we're going to consistently rely on, and that I'm going to tell every one of our clients to do. Why? Because it's going to make our job making an ad campaign scale easier. And for full disclosure, at our advertising agency, the more you scale your ads, the more money we make. So we want to help you scale your ads, make them profitable so we can scale quicker. So with that said, the first thing though, the traditional funnel for this lead automation, responding to leads, is when a call comes in and let's say you missed the call. You didn't get the call answered initially. What should you do? Should you just wait for the salesperson? Because that's the main thing. Salesperson's busy. You can't afford a second salesperson. Because if you did, you could just have the call, if you use call tracking like CallRail, to blast that call out to everybody at once simultaneously. And whoever answers it gets it. If you missed the call, you can have an automated SMS message immediately go out using that same CallRail account. This is a new feature, by the way, that CallRail came out with. So if you were wondering why you couldn't find out how to do it before, if you looked into it, it's been rolled out within the last year. But you can literally have the SMS message say anything you want. You could say, hey, sorry I missed your call. I would like to just let you know that if you want to speed this process along, just let me know when is the best time to call you or best time to come out, and just text that back. The text back will show up in your lead center of your CallRail account, and then obviously you can close the sale from there. Given that almost everybody is going to respond to a text message like that, you're going to have reply rates of 90% for something like this, literally speaking. So it's going to increase the contact rate that you're going to have with your leads that you have coming in, because you didn't just simply wait for the salesperson, to have time to call them back. By the way, if it's been 15 minutes already since the call initially came in, the contact rate on that lead is going to be less than half. Why? Because they've already moved on to other things and other people already at that point in time. You got to just realize this. Yes, you may not like it. You could say, Corey, I can't get the leads on time. Doesn't matter. They're still going to go with somebody else. You want to throw half your money into the garbage can? Go right ahead. Be my guest. That's your call. That said, on top of that though, if they don't respond to the text message, you should also have an SMS Drip. And you can have your CallRail account integrated with your easy texting account, because there's SMS text messaging programs where you could do a drip like you can with a MailChimp or an email drip program, where you can have an SMS send out on a timed schedule, SMS message sent out today, and then in 2 days, in 5 days, and when they don't respond to the one in 2 days, you could send one in 3 days alternatively, and customize a whole sequence after that. Knowing that still not everybody's going to answer that SMS message, and just squeeze out every last dollar of value from the calls that you got coming in originally. You keep texting them until they damn well reply and say, F you, stop contacting me, or you set an appointment. And that's how you're going to make the most money. Furthermore though, this initial SMS, currently CallRail doesn't have a way to customize that message. Personally, if I'm doing any kind of volume, I'm going to use Twilio to customize the message. That way I could take the user's caller ID, because the caller ID will have the person's name most of the time, Jane Smith. And my text message going out could say, hey Jane, I saw you called. I know it's a bit creepy, but hey Jane, I just saw you called. Just let me know. If there's a better time you want me to call, let me know, or want to come out. But just let you know I will be calling you back. And what's the best time to call you, whatever. Get a reply, and then they're going to be, when you do call eventually, they're going to remember you and be more likely to answer. Because the big reason why people don't answer the phone at a very high rate after it's been 15 minutes already is when you call back, they don't remember even the number. People, if they don't recognize the number on their cell phones anymore, they don't answer the phone. That's what you're up against, and why the SMS is going to make such a big difference in your profitability of your ads, because you're going to get a lot more. That is if you miss a lot of calls. If you never ever miss a call, this obviously doesn't have much value for it in and itself. But everybody misses some calls, and even if it's 10% of the calls you can't answer right away, this is going to pay for itself going ahead and setting it up, so why not do it? Second, flow in terms of automation here. I know this video is about lead to call automation here. What we had before is a call to SMS automation. This is more so your lead to call automation. Somebody fills out a form on your landing page on your website, okay? Then what you want to do, like I mentioned at the very start of this video, what this video is primarily supposed to be about, you instantly call them within 60 seconds, okay? It may seem weird or creepy or whatever, but I promise you, if they get a call within 60 seconds of filling out that form, even though some people filled out the form because they can't talk right then and there, they're going to be super impressed, and they're going to carry that impression over to how they feel about your business and how you do business. And I heard how people react on these calls. It's great. Oh, wow, you already contacted me already? That's amazing. Because so few people are doing it, and anything that helps the user experience along and that your competitors won't do gives you more ROI from your campaigns. So again, why not do it? But with that said, if you call the person within 60 seconds using an automated tool to help you do that, you can do that by a number of tools. I made a special videos about the tools that I would recommend for this. If you want to have me tell you in the comment section what the tools are, let me know. Or I might just add it in the description anyway. Well, if they don't answer the call, okay, then you're going to have an SMS message go out to the user right away. Naturally, that SMS, you can set up a flow like that so it all just automatically happens. To keep it simple, you could just simply have the SMS message go out at minute 2, whereas minute 1 the call happens, and then just cancel it manually if you get on the phone. If you're using programming and create a script, you can actually have this SMS message only go out if they don't answer the phone. Hey John, and then again using the caller ID. Hey John, I just tried to give you a call. Hey, let me know when the best time to call you is. And as a quick side, anytime you're doing any of the follow-ups using automation of any sort, you don't want to sound like it's an automated message. That's going to kill the lift and productivity of your ads doing that. Talk to them like you would talk to a friend, standing right directly in front of you, not how you would email them or send them a letter or whatever. And talk to them like it's your friend, essentially. Hey John, what time, I tried calling you, blah, blah, blah. Make it look like a software didn't send it. And then if they don't answer that SMS, well then there's an SMS Drip sequence itself going on in the background, which I would recommend 2 types of SMS messages going out, by the way, to get the full effect of your ad spend. That is, one series of SMS messages should just be an automated, hey John, I'm still just checking up with you. Did you still want to set up an appointment? Hey John, just checking in with you again. You would be surprised how many more, our advertising firm, how many more deals we close with clients by not ever giving up on somebody, because people are super busy. And obviously this applies in business to business sales more so, where we're often dealing with owners, but it applies to everybody still in some regard, in that sometimes it will take 14 times contacting them before they're finally ready for an appointment. And it doesn't make the lead any less good after that 14th time, I promise you. And actually it is the other way. It closes at a higher rate of time, again, because they see how detail-oriented you are. The average person's not going to follow up with them. And it's not going to be annoying to them because they're the one that contacted you. They want you to follow up with them. And it's not like they can't say, okay, I'm not interested anymore. And then, anybody knows they can do that. So, but with this SMS Drip, you have that sequence going, and then you have another sequence that say, hey John, I also just wanted to let you know that I created a buyer's guide that shows you our solution versus the other 4 solutions in the market. We've compared and tested each one of our products in terms of speed, reliability, and so forth. I just thought you would like to see it. Which, by the way, if you are going to do any kind of SMS marketing like that, or even email marketing like that, drip sequences, that's the type of quality content that you want, and you want to sound personalized. Make them think that it's just a friendly one person talking to another person. Make the content, more importantly, useful to the user. Nobody gives a shit about your 25th year anniversary or that you have a new product for sale. Nobody gives a fuck. Talk to them and give them information that legitimately is relevant to what they contacted you about in the first place, and help them make a decision. And it's really going to help them if you go ahead and show them what your competitors are doing. You didn't have to do that. They weren't expecting you to do that, and it's a pleasant surprise, and it really helps out when you do that. Find out 4 or 5 things in terms of the sales process that they always ask about, and deliver that in your sequence. Or, a lot of times they're not going to ask questions, just think about what people would want to know. Buyer's guides are great. Insider secrets to the industry, what they don't want you to know about. This is the type of edgy content that people are actually going to read. And the whole key to it is if they get an SMS message from you and the content that was in there was fantastic, they loved it, the second time they get an SMS from you, they're damn well going to click through it. Versus if it's a dog shit piece of information you tried to shove down their throat, they're not going to click on your second SMS, and you killed the entire thing. So there's 2 follow-up messages. One that just promotes content and gives them more context about you and the market and whatnot, what they need to know. And the other sequence is, hey, let's get an appointment going. Which, by the way, once they got the appointment, if that's a part of your overall process, then it's, hey, did you make a decision about the proposal we sent you? And then sending that 15,000 times until they say, no, I'm not interested, stop contacting me, or yes, I'm ready to sign. Or I got a question before I sign. So you do that, and then you do the same exact thing via email. You email them, hey, did you did you decide a date for the appointment? Hey, did you decide if you're going to say yes to the proposal or not? And you have the automation going that way. And then the content, helping them decide, building a relationship with the user in the form of content. Everything that you do via SMS is just mirrored in email. But a lot of people don't care about SMS, they do email. A lot of people don't care about email, but they care about SMS, and they like getting SMS messages. So you are opening up the possibilities of what you can get done with it when you do both. So anyway, that is a very, very, very classic funnel that we're going to use if we're going to squeeze out for the clients that we're working with, to squeeze out every last dime of value out of every lead that's been generated by our campaigns through and starting with a contact form. Beyond that, you can also do a contact form where they fill out the contact form, and this is actually where you can have an online scheduler. Like, even for plumbing services, we'll have a way to fill out the form for the user if they want to contact us that way or inquire that way, and an online scheduler. And they can decide what they want, which is what I had here listed, book now. And if they fill out the form, though, we're still going to try to get them to book right after they fill out the form. Why? Because it's going to decrease the likelihood that they forget about our form lead and then go with somebody else. We just got the booking right away without a delay, and therefore got more of them. So, but what we do, though, if we don't want to take just any customer on, because a lot of times you guys don't want to just book with anybody that contacts you, and that's fine. So what you do is you have them fill out the form, and then there's a pop-up with a questionnaire that they have to fill out. And depending on the questionnaire, if they answer the right things, you give them the calendar link to book a meeting or appointment or whatever. And if they answer wrong, they get no calendar, and they say, sorry, we can't help you or whatnot. It saves your sales team's time tremendously. Going ahead and plugging that into your system, because then they're only going to be talking to people, A, that are qualified, B, they don't have to talk to anybody to get them onto a meeting, and C, it gets more meetings from the people that you would want to talk to because they haven't moved on to talking to another competitor some of the time, or they don't get your email or whatever, like we were talking about before. So that's another fantastic model for automation of your leads as they come in, and ultimately getting the phone call with the client all set up, starting with the form lead, so that there's no interaction. And when the call you have, when you do call them, they're going to be in contact with them. Which, by the way, anymore, if you want to add a bit more to this, it's once that meeting is scheduled, if you're using like a Calendly, it's going to email or text message them 15 minutes before the call, make sure they remember it. It's going to email them 15 minutes before the call so they remember it. And then you also want to add that in there, because a lot of people will book the meeting and then they'll forget, not that they were looking forward to the meeting, but they'll just forget it. If it blasts out an email and a text message right before the meeting, then we're going to forget it less. You're going to have more people showing up as a whole. So I would recommend that as well. Now, this other lead automation here, in terms of lead to call automation itself, you can have an instant quote form on your site. There's one thing that people love is instant quotes or instant estimates. Even though it's so hard to do that for many people, unless you have like a quoting engine, that's not for the lighthearted to be able to put together. If you don't know about programming, it's probably too much or too expensive. But what you can do, what we like to do is, like, let's say if you're a car shipping company and you don't have a system to give an automated quote, what do? You say instant quote. Why? Because that's going to pull the hardest in terms of your ads. Everybody just wants a quote. They don't want to talk to no salesperson. So you give that to them. You say instant quote, 60 seconds or less. Then you take them to your page and you have them go through a 9-question series, asking one question at a time. What type of car you have? Where are you going? And then they get to the end. The last question is, what's your phone number? And then once you've submitted your phone number and click next again one more time, then it says a sales rep will call you within 60 seconds. So even though you technically are misleading them a little bit because you're saying they're going to get an instant quote, and the thought is what most people are going to think, well, the website's just going to spit it out. Really the person that calls them is going to give it to them. And when they call, because what happens is with these lead to call automation systems, if I didn't clarify, what happens is the call will come into the salesperson automatically at that point in time. It'll say, John Smith just filled out a form, press 1 to connect with John Smith. Salesperson clicks 1 on their phone, immediately calls John Smith. Then you want everything they answered on that questionnaire, if you will, on the screen. You could say, yeah, I'm willing to give you a quote right now, blah, 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 blah. Give them the quote. So then you got the insane pull of your ad by offering an instant quote without having to have a quoting engine per se available. And when it's working and you're making money, you could eventually automate that and give real automated quotes through your website. But before then, you don't have to do it, and that's your workaround. But ultimately, on top of that, though, in case you don't want to talk to every single person again, you can have, depending on how they answer the questions, you can have the auto call set up to automatically call the salesperson to talk through and give that person the quote, or it can just say, sorry, we can't service you, and save your salesperson's time some more. All of this, and you go with one flavor or another, will save you time and the user time to get to the end result, which is the person wants a quote or appointment or whatever. And as a result of that, because it's quicker, you're going to get more sales, and because you're using automation and you could do follow-up along with it, or should do follow-up along with it, so that if they don't respond to your call or you can't respond to them, to their call, you follow them up 10,000 times if it's necessary until you finally connect with them. And I know it's hard to believe that you have to contact them 15 times, but I promise you, this happens way more than you think. Eventually, if somebody gets a call enough from a number that they don't recognize, they're going to answer it, and even if they're pissed, and say, what the hell are you calling me for? And then you explain, they're like, oh, okay. And then, you got your ability to get a sale then. Anyway, as it comes to, if you really want to make the most from PPC, this is the type of stuff that the big boys are doing, as I mentioned at the start of this video. And you want to do, if you want to be able to be ultra scalable with your ads, so that you're closing at a higher rate than anybody else. Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, if you could simply close at double the rate than your competitors on Google Ads, just to give you an example there, I mean, you're going to win once you've already got that in place for the most part, because that changes the economics of Google Ads so much in itself. And then obviously when you combine that with things I talk about on this particular channel about how to have a better ad and a better landing page, now you got 4 or 5 times the advantage of anybody else. And even though you might be paying $100 a click or whatever, you're still able to make it work because you're more efficient than them. And really that's all it comes down to when you're running Google ads as well as Microsoft ads. You just got to be better than the competition, because Google and Microsoft charge as much as they can get away with before people give up and stop advertising through them. So you just got to be more efficient than them slightly, and you'll be able to make it work. And then obviously if you're running any kind of Facebook ads or anything else where you don't have a direct competition per se, You obviously, if you're going to spend the time to set up a sales funnel, why the hell do you not want the other half of your money by not also setting this up behind the lead generation tool that you have, that is your campaign and landing page that you're pulling in leads from? So if you have any questions about anything I covered here, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. If you're looking for someone to give you advice that really knows how to get results with ads and can help you make literal millions of dollars a year running ads for your business, this is the channel you want to subscribe to already, if you haven't already, as the information I'm giving you is coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad strategy and ad testing to give you what works and what doesn't work on a consistent basis out there on Google, on Facebook, on these various ad platforms, which most of the other people you hear from don't actually run any ads or run very few, and they're just talking out their behinds 90% of the time as a result of it. So you should subscribe. You can also find my blog, by the way, that I also keep up on my site. My blog is found at guaranteedppc.com/blog. My blog has actual step-by-step instructions on specific strategies I use to get guaranteed results for our clients. And we got to guarantee results for our clients just to be able to get paid our management fees at our agency. And I literally just tell you the type of things that we're doing there and that you could follow. So if you want more information and you like the channel already, you're going to want to check out the blog. It's actually going to probably be even more helpful to you. Most people it is. So you should check that out as well. If you're looking for somebody to hire as a PPC or ad agency at any point in time for Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever that you're running, this is exactly what we do at our ad agency and nothing but. And with that, we do not charge our clients fees up front until we can get them a certain minimum lift in profitability of their ads or starting out on their campaigns that are new, if we agree to take you on a new venture. And with the idea with it is we lift your profitability enough to offset the fee. So we're paying ourselves basically out of the benefit we're giving you up front. So there's no reason why not to work with us. The catch is we don't work with just any client. We got to know we can crush it for with your stuff. But if you want to see if we can work together potentially, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about the opportunity and see what there might be that we can do for you potentially. As a final note, we also have ad templates available that we've been offering to our channel viewers. And with that, what that is if we've worked in a market that you're in already, in our niche, and we've worked in over 100 niches in the last 10 years running this advertising agency, you could take the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates, copy, paste those into your account and get the same results we're getting, and then all for a one-time fee that we sell all this to you. And basically, what you're getting is many times us running ads for years to find the best, most polished version of how to run a campaign in that market, and you're getting it overnight just buying the template from us. If you're interested in any of those templates, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I can let you know the cost per lead that we're getting or ROI we're getting on top of it, so you can see what the benefit would even be using our version of the campaign templates and landing page templates and so forth. Or if you want to be able to sell leads and start a cool little lead selling business, we can tell you what we can generate leads for, and we've got people using templates that we sell just for that. Or wanted to get into selling products and get into e-commerce, there's lots of different ways you could take one of our proven templates to sell an item that you can easily pull from China that our client sells in market A, but you want to sell it in market B. If you want any information on any of that, let me know. You can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.